Kodachrome, give me the nice bright colors. Learn to make a photograph. Jason, doing that whole thing the last time was just way too much work.
That was way easier.
That was way easier. That was very creative rolling credit that you had. Kind of came right in and then
Oh my
rolled
gosh.
right out. That was
Oh my gosh. Did they ever kick people off of YouTube?
well, you kidding me? This is like uber creative content right here. This is
Like
good.
for low standards or low
I have a
technical
feeling
quality?
after this one, this is because of the viral nature of what we're doing. People are going to be sharing this, and we're going to go up to 810 followers.
We're gonna go viral.
810 followers
Wow.
after this. We're
Well,
going to
one
gain
can
10.
dream. One can dream big, John.
I'm dreaming we get 810. If
Hey,
we
we
ever
didn't
really,
talk about, oh, go ahead.
if we ever really make it to 1,000, what's going to happen? Will our
I don't
egos
know.
like explode? Don't do that again. You look pretty chubby when you did that. Yeah, look very chubby.
We didn't talk about what we're going to talk about. So what's on our list?
Oh, I think we did. We're going to talk about money. Money, 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 money.
No, you mean about
Well,
which
because
which item?
the question is, do you have to make money to be a successful photographer?
Well, let's just ask. We've often said, I'm sure we have, he's a successful photographer. What does that mean? Does it
Oh,
mean that he made a certain dollar amount? I mean, I doubt you and I would ever talk about Joe Blow photographer and realize that he doesn't sell his work and say he's a successful photographer. So I suspect most of us generally think successful means somehow in a business way is successful.
yeah, or that they've been, but I think about it that they've been published or that they have a gallery potentially.
Wait a minute, Vivian Maier. I bet no one describes her as a successful photographer. They make talk about her being creative or
Um,
any
I,
other words, but do they ever say Vivian Maier was a successful photographer? I suspect not.
yeah, that's a good question. I wonder. I wonder.
I would say let's define successful photographer for ourselves.
Ugh. So, yeah, good grief.
That would be hard to
You
do.
go first.
Well, I can say I love his work. Or, I mean, we've all said this. We've gone to an exhibition and we'll come out saying, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And it brings me back to that one quote: there is no good or bad art, there's just different art. I
Right.
may have liked it or appreciated it, but it's not bad art.
Yeah, successful. That I like that. So I was thinking about what makes my work successful, and I wanted to stay away from screaming, what we always do, which is I like it. But that's the reality, and so I guess the standard's the same. If I look at our friend Jason's work and I like his work, then he's successful, right?
Brooks, we haven't brought Brooks up here, but I heard Brooks the other day mention a photographer who he just really, really loved. I had never
Yeah.
heard of the guy
Me
before.
neither. Yes.
So maybe this is some obscure photographer that never really was successful in the art or business world, but he is successful in Brooks' opinion, apparently.
Yeah. So back to the premise here, do you have to make money to be a successful photographer? I guess you and I are going to say no. Has money has nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, let's argue and get ourselves in trouble with the internet police. Peter Lick. Some people would say he's uber successful because
Why?
because he has these incredibly fancy galleries with work that sells for $2,500 and up. So he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so that makes him successful. But in the eyes of many in the community that you and I hang out in, they're not impressed with his work. That doesn't mean that others are or aren't. Obviously, a number of people are impressed with Peter's work and they love it. But
So maybe when someone says, is so and so successful, we ought to ask in what sense?
yeah,
Because because most of the time, I believe we're talking in a business sense. In the olden days, successful photographer probably meant they were in some big name galleries. They were covered in photography magazines. That probably was the definition of successful. They were widely recognized as
Right.
important voices.
Ansel comes to mind with that right away, right, Weston? I mean, they were voices that most everybody knew.
Yeah, so that was another definition, not just financially successful, but uh, well known to the general public. Although I doubt Edward Weston was well known to the
Yeah,
general
probably
public.
not as much. Yeah,
Ansel, in fact, Ansel is one of the few photographers that I can think of that most people could name.
right.
Maybe Ann Geddes, and then that other lady who does a lot of the stars. I never can think of her name.
Annie Leibovitz.
Yeah, Ann Leibovitz. But beyond that, what photographer could a person on the street name?
Yeah, not that. I mean, Ansel's it's like ubiquitous, right? Whoa, ubiquitous. Did I just say
Well,
that word?
ubiquitous.
Yeah,
Four
but more
syllables, you're
importantly, do
getting
you know what?
better.
Yeah, more importantly, do you know what it means?
Um, do you know what it means, John?
Yes. Kind
Well,
of
I
like
do, but
it's like being in all omnipresent, being in all places at the same time. It's like you see them everywhere.
uh,
Yeah. Well, so I guess we beat this one up a little bit here, but no, in our minds, or in my mind, I don't think you need to make money. I certainly don't make money with print sales. You do a little bit.
well, that would be a fun question to ask our viewers, to ask yourself. Are you a successful photographer? And this will morph into another topic that maybe we'll do in the next episode.
Okay.
So answer that question. Are you a successful photographer?
We expect to see 800 comments below because there's 800 people following. And if we don't get that many, we'll know who is not following and we'll call you out personally.
We might kick them off the list, John.
I think we can unsubscribe people. I think. I
Uh,
don't know. Maybe not, but
okay.
that might hurt their feelings. We should probably leave them on.